This is an official communication from the United States Department of Interior.
This action follows statements made on the December 15th episode of the Cup of Meat podcast. Effective immediately, Cup of Meat Productions is ordered to cease and desist all claims of having created, invented, or in any way been the originating source of happiness.
The Department wishes to remind the public that happiness, as defined under Title VII, Section 42 of the National Well-Being Act, remains federal property held in trust for the American people.
Furthermore, all derivative emotions, including joy, contentment, mild amusement, and ironic detachment, are protected assets of the U.S. government.
We have also been given 10 business days to remove the phrase "cup o' meat," the original source of happiness, from all promotional materials, including mugs, t-shirts, commemorative coins, tote bags, lawn ornaments,
and to
pasta
return
makers.
any surplus happiness currently in our possession to the nearest national park ranger.
We really didn't want to, but federal law. Happiness apparently is now property of the state. Oh, by the way, we're Cup of Meat Productions. This is Made in 48. Welcome back, everyone, to Cup of Meat Productions. X number of years and X number of hours. We're keeping it loose.
What is those X's? No, it can't be. It's got to be like X number of years and Y number of hours, because I'm pretty sure they're not the same.
Maybe.
Maybe
not.
Guess that's all part of the mystery.
Maybe it's not. Maybe everything is in algebra.
Wait, what?
Speaking of algebra, this week's film is 10 gallons. This is one of the ancillary competitions that the 48-Hour Film Project experimented with. This was back in 2011. We were both, at the time, living in New Jersey. It was not one of the traditional city annual events. It was a special event called the 48-hour Go Green competition, which was held, I believe, just in New York, but maybe they did in some other cities. But it was the same idea, where you got a character prop line of dialogue, with the difference being is that every film needed to have an environmental message.
Yeah, I remember thinking about this one would be fun to add in. At the time, we were sort of in our heavy cup of meat, looking for both the original city one and then the national pretty much every year, right? Looking for additional things to do. We had a great bunch of actors who were available and interested and so talented. And also we started to have availability of some ancillary locations and things that made a difference. And we'll talk more about that one when we get there.
This is what I would deem as one of Cup of Meat's serious films. And I've got to say, probably my favorite of them. We don't go serious very often.
No, we don't. And for good reason. I think our real skill sets lie in the quirky funny. But this one was good. I enjoyed this film.
This was a good film, tight, short film, and I think one that really pulled together nice.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of film that I like to make with where it all makes sense, or has a heavy metaphor. It's multi-shot. It builds to a point, and I loved it.
And we learned from this, and 2 years later, we made our masterpiece, Bill Hates Bears, which I agree brought all of those things together better than we'd ever done it.
I'm confused. What did you say? Masterpiece and Bill Hates Bears in the same sentence? These things. It must be the headphones are breaking up.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 gallons.
Most people freak out when they got a leaky faucet. They call themselves some outside assistants. In most cases, no need, my friends. 9 out of 10 times, you just need to give it a turn. I mean, a good turn. Really. It's that simple.
For me, what really made this film was the location that we had the opportunity to use for this.
Yeah, we were very lucky. I was part of a theater group called the Strollers in South Orange. I'd done some, actually, they're in Maplewood, technically, Maplewood, New Jersey. And I had done a bunch of shows there as well as some tech for them. Yeah, this was a black box theater. It was actually a church, the Bergdorf Center or Theatrical Center for Performing Arts. That's right. The Bergdorf Center for Performing Arts. And
No,
the Bergdorf Center for Performing Arts. No,
One more time?
I think I got it right that last time, so I'm good. Anyway, and it was a lovely space built into it, like I said, a church, but it allowed us space, allowed us distance, allowed us to be able to have the curtains absorb all the light, to be able to place lights specifically on people, the theatrical lighting.
This space really afforded us an opportunity to get very creative with not only how we shot it, but how we lit it, how we staged it. Like I said, it's one of probably my favorite of our serious films, and yet we were able to use that space and the black and white starkness to really give it a little bit of our touch.
Simple.
Carl. You are leading our friends down the path of thinking you're a professional plumber.
That is true. That is true. I am definitely more of what my wife calls a volunteer plumber, but the idea remains the same. Sometimes the early fix is the easiest. Now, with one of your compression faucets, it relies on rubber washer.
And I thought we could watch that. Carl, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. What were you saying?
I was just asking what you wanted to watch on the television tonight.
Oh, I don't care.
My memory of this film was that we had a very equitable division of writing responsibilities for this.
This was one of those ones where I don't think we didn't fight much on this one. I think we definitely just, it kind of came together, and it is the cup and beat methodology of sequence. 1 step, change, 2 step, 3 step, right to the end, and that was definitely something that worked in this film.
And I remember you put together most of the plumbing-based dialogue, which to me sounds perfectly reasonable, and I've used often to use it for home repair.
But we're not licensed plumbers, just so you know. Cup and Meat is not.
No, we're more volunteer plumbers. Volunteer, but I filled it out today. Some of the stuff. The volunteer was the required character, and that line carried a lot of weight with that. That's what my wife calls a volunteer plumber. My wife is kind of touched in the head because nobody ever says that.
You know, it was our anniversary yesterday.
So, you missed the anniversary there, huh, Chief?
I don't care.
That's not the way I remember it.
That's not the way I remember it was definitely the required line of dialogue for this film. And I remember that because the line that Greg says right before it, I don't care, was a reuse of the line that he had said earlier about what to watch on television. And in rewatching it, it jumps out at me every time.
Okay, what jumps out at me is what great actors they were. Really, like Katie's subtlety in that delivery, so good. But you're absolutely right about the dialogue.
Well, after a while, the washer starts to harden, you see. which creates a crappy seal on the valve seat, that little metal part that the washer squeezes down on. So with all this going on, the pressure behind the valve is building and building, and inevitably, invariably, it forces its way through the washer, causing a leak that you cannot stop, no matter how hard you turn that handle.
Like you're even listening to me right now. Typical. Fucking typical. You are never right here. Even when you're here, you're never right here.
I am doing the best that I can. Get the fuck off my back!
I am running out of options here, Carl, really. What do you want from me?
You really should have gone after her right there, Ace.
So as your leak continues, hour after hour, day after day, month after month, the calcium and the lime in the water start to eat away at the very metal of the faucet itself, weakening it, destroying the structure, and eventually rendering it useless.
Do you think that maybe we didn't win because they didn't understand the metaphor about taking care of the earth is like taking care of a relationship, and while it's easy to fix it early, you still have a chance?
I might view this as a little heavy-handed in its use of
I agree, it is. It's heavy, but
yes, I think you're right. I think that it's very likely this was not on the nose enough for the people in the competition. But I think what we're saying is, as usual, Cup of Meat Productions is a little bit smarter than the average bear.
well, unless you're Bill, and then we all know what he thinks about bears. Love this shot.
This is one of my favorite shots from the film. To shoot this, they had really tall ladders that obviously they would use to change out lights in the theater. And I got on the top of the ladder and held the camera out vertically, shooting down on them.
Yeah, I remember you had gotten this Sony camera, which was a detachable lens style, and we only used it this one film because when you had it held vertically, the lens was so heavy it would pull itself out of focus or out of telephoto zoom or something, and it was very frustrating to you at the time. But it's our first foray into HD.
And the focus problems, I remember it was not just when it was being held vertically, it was almost all the time that it just would not focus or hold focus. And you'll see it a couple times in this film, and I had to really edit around it. But yeah, it was a pain in the ass.
It didn't have to be that way. You didn't need to lose her.
This film used stock music for a score. Again, gotta remember 2011, early days of kind of royalty-free stock music. And for this film, I discovered the joy of editing to a score. Right. This was a single track piano piece, and driving the edit with the emotion of the music is something I've come back to a couple times in other films.
Definitely.
This is one of the first where, again, I talked about the last episode, those moments when it all clicks. There are a couple of them in this film.
Sometimes the early fix is the easiest. But eventually, any fix is better than none at all. Go. Fix it.
Made in 2004, this film goes way back. Bloom is literally the fourth film we ever made.
This is one of my fundamental favorite films when it comes to Cup of Meat and the history. The actresses, the structure, the sadness, and the simplicity worked so well for me. This was one of those early ones that where we felt like we actually had some idea what we knew what we were doing, but turns out we still don't.
No, this was one of our challenging films because we challenged ourselves with it.
That's right.
Stupid thing. What did I say that for? That's stupid.
If you said it anyway.
The mythos we're creating with this podcast is that I'm the smart one, you're the stupid one.
That's the mythos. I love how you've decided that.
There is the world of Cup of Meat. And in that world, we each hold roles.
Right. You're the smart one and I'm the stupid one. I got it. Now I know what the role is. I didn't know that before, but now I realize that. Thanks.
So speaking of stupid, I think you're going to hold on to ending the film. And in honor of that, I would like you to give your farewell in Esperanto.
Okay, that's a tough one. Okay, here we go. Ready? Dankon pro spectado de...
No. Deeper Esperanto.
Deeper, like in
Deeper.
accent?
Deeper. Just go.
Okay. Dankon pro spectado de cetio.
No. Think Southern Esperanto. With the drawl.
Dankon pro spectado de cetio cunni.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
Kaj
is what they call a
La
throwback.
Van on time.